Hi there! I just spent my first week living in Saigon as a digital nomad, and today I'm breaking down the real cost, District 2 lifestyle, digital nomad infrastructure, and whether I would actually stay. Hi guys, if you're new here, my name is Emmy. I built my business online and moved around the world, choosing cities that feel aligned. We spent 6 weeks in Australia, traveling on the East Coast and Tasmania. Then we decided to come to Vietnam. Why? I was really looking forward to this high quality of life, of low cost that Asia can provide. Vietnam is becoming really popular with travelers, expats, and digital nomads, so I was really excited to check it out for myself and see if it's worth the hype. Also, I'm at the stage of building my business where I really need to lock in. So I was looking for this optimal infrastructure that will allow me to take care of myself and really dial in my productivity so I can achieve more in shorter amount of time. Vietnam seems to be a perfect place to be. We arrived in Saigon, and this is my experience of the first week of living here. First impression of the city. It was quite funny because we arrived during Tet, which is the Chinese New Year, the biggest holiday of the year in Vietnam. So when we got here, everything was closed and the city was really quiet, especially here in District 2. So only after a few days of getting used to being in the city, first of all, we realized how busy it actually is here. I tracked everything during my stay. Not just money, but energy, performance, rhythm, lifestyle. Because as a woman building something online, it's not only about is it cheap, but is it sustainable? And does it put me in this high performance mode? Ho Chi Minh City is actually the largest and the most populated city in Vietnam. With almost 10 million people living here, it gets really chaotic. Traffic is wild, humidity is real, air pollution is something we should be concerned about, and the city moves fast. But after a few days you realize there is a flow to it. It's chaotic, but it works, and there is something very alive about it. Let's talk about District 2. We decided to stay in Tao Dien, which is the Nomad district. It is optimized for our Western needs. So if you're looking for like a real Vietnamese culture and affordability, this is not exactly where you will find it. But if you're looking for convenience and infrastructure to work remotely and also meet like-minded people, this is a place to be. And I'm really happy we stayed here. It's very green and quite walkable. I was able to walk or take a grab bike, which is super affordable. We paid around 20,000, which is probably $1 to move around the Tao Dien district. And everything's 5 minutes away, so it's really convenient. Yeah, it's a more residential area, it's very clean, a lot of cafes and expats heavy. We booked a small apartment here on the ground floor, and I really love this morning meditation I have in this private garden we have here. I will link this property in the description because I really like it here. Yeah, it's a studio, so we have a kitchen and own bathroom. It's self-contained, but also a nice thing about Vietnam is that your room gets cleaned every day, which is so nice and definitely not something I'm used to. But I think that's the Asian norm, that yeah, someone comes and clean your dishes and put your bed nicely together, change your towels, so every day it feels the room is fresh and new, which I love. Yeah, price-wise, it can be really affordable, anything between $450 to $800. You can get a nice studio for a month with a pool, a gym included. There's so many high rises and the prices are really affordable. I would go on Booking or Airbnb, but the actual hidden gem of Vietnam is Agoda booking app. They have like the best deals, really affordable. Those nice apartments that are suitable for digital nomads, yeah, start from around $10, which is crazy. But you can also go higher, it depends from your needs and what kind of infrastructure you need, and also from location. District 2 is definitely a good option. The only downside of D2 is quite remote because there is a river around it. It feels quite isolated. So if you want to go anywhere else, it's a drive. It's not a big deal. It's about 20 minutes and $5 to $10, but it's kind of a journey into be ready to go to D1, which is much more busy and a lot of tourists stay there. Food. So this is a huge gap between local food, which can be really cheap. You can get a banh mi for 20,000, which is, yeah, let's say $1. Or you can get Western meal for $10, around 300 up. So it really depends what you're craving, but it's nice to balance it out. Sometimes you can eat something local and sometimes you can treat yourself to a nice Western dinner. All of the food is available and it's much cheaper comparing to different countries around the world. Coffee is very common. There is coffee everywhere and matcha as well. And it costs from 60,000 to around 120,000. And maybe, yeah, if you want a really good ceremonial grade, it's gonna be up to 200,000 and around $3 for just a regular. You just have to find your favorite places, but maybe I'll link a few of my favorite locations for matcha in District 2 below, so you can find inspiration when you arrive here. Yeah, grab rides, very cheap. You can jump on the back of the motorcycle and pay very little, or you can get a car, and that's around twice the price. So for example, to go from here to D1, it depends from the time of the day. It will be around 100 to 250,000, $5 to $12 for a ride one way. It's around 25 minutes. So yeah, really affordable as well. Gym and co-working. There's so many gyms and co-working spaces available. I saw a basic gym. You can go for 70,000 for one-time entry. And you can get all the fancy packages as well of fitness classes. There's so many options around here. And that can go, yeah, up to 150 USD per month. There are a lot of options for co-working in Saigon, but definitely the best one I have found is called Workflow. I think it might be the nicest co-working space I have ever been in my life. And it was super cheap for $1 to $2 per hour, and even cheaper if you buy a monthly package. So I highly recommend you check it out for the vibes and beautiful aesthetic. But there are a bunch of other ones, and I just used Google Maps to find those locations. Wi-Fi. One of the most important things for us as digital nomads, especially if you're streaming or you're jumping on Zoom calls a lot. This is really the key, right? The Wi-Fi is perfect. I didn't have any issues with Wi-Fi so far, which is great. Okay, another thing I wanted to touch on is working from cafes. Before, I was not really a big fan of it because I oftentimes felt rushed or it was loud, I couldn't focus. But here it's different. Here, the culture of working from cafes is real. I feel many cafes are very welcoming for digital nomads, and you can find people working on their laptops everywhere. So I feel it's really socially accepted to go and stay for a few hours when you buy food and drinks. So very convenient. Air conditioning, very common. There's aircon everywhere, so it's really nice and cool because outside it's really hot. Right now it's February and it's 34 degrees and very humid. It's a good escape during winter in Europe to come to Vietnam and just take your work with you to change the scenery and meet some nice like-minded people and also save some money probably comparing to your European rent and food and utilities and transportation. This is much cheaper, I think, so highly recommend. Community and lifestyle, very important to be able to connect with like-minded people, and this is a great place for it. Yeah, I was actually very surprised how easy it is to meet people. I would just say hi in a cafe or just come up to someone and start a conversation, and everyone is really friendly. But also I used Instagram Threads. It's such a good search engine in terms of people in your location. So I was able to meet up with a couple of people from Threads. So it was really nice as well, and we got to come together, create something or exchange knowledge. Highly recommend, good stuff. And yeah, I guess there's a lot of different ways to meet people. Facebook groups, also just going to do something, really any activity, you'll find people that are into that kind of stuff as well. So this is a very strong point of connection. Rooftop bars, fitness communities. Yeah, because if you're building something online, being surrounded by like-minded, ambitious people can really make a difference. So I highly recommend going out of your comfort zone and becoming friends with people. All right, so let's recap. After a week in Tao Dien, D2, I'm finally finding my way around. And the question is, would I stay? And yeah, I would stay here longer. Good place, very affordable, it ticks all the boxes. It can be very fulfilling to be here. Focus space to lock in, build your habits, build your network. So if you're considering Vietnam as your next base or you're building an online income, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear where you're watching from. And if you want more breakdown like this, digital nomad lifestyle around the world, make sure you're subscribed. And I'm so excited to be back on YouTube, guys. It's been too long and I'm ready to get back to it. See you in the next one.